Have you ever stayed up late wondering about your teenager's future? Like, will they do well in school? How will they handle a job? Will they find someone to marry? I mean, if so, you're not alone. Countless moms and dads, they joke that their prayer life increased dramatically because they turned those worries into prayers. And one of those everyday worries I think we have as parents is the subject of faith. We wonder, will my teenager own the faith that I've tried to pass down? I mean, you're one of the greatest spiritual influences in your teenager's life. And so you're a part of the process, but you're not the whole. You can't control whether your teenager opens their hearts to God and accepts his invitation, but you can encourage the process. We've been talking with our students on Wednesday nights about how to grow in their faith. And as a part of that, I want to give you a few tips to help them along their way. So here's a few ideas. Number one, invite multi-generational relationships into your teenager's life. When you invite other people who share faith in Jesus in their life, you invite new voices. So invite someone older who can speak spiritual encouragement and truths that you might have been saying for a while. Maybe it's a teacher, coach, college student, neighbor. But the most important factor is make sure that invitation is someone you believe to be safe and that you trust. You want a mentor's influence to confirm and reiterate the messages of God's love. Second, be open to honest conversations about their feelings with God. It's age appropriate for your teenager to question just about everything in their life, and that relationship with God might be one of those questions. It's perfectly normal for them in this stage to deal with doubts about their relationship with God or even have serious concerns and questions. And at first this seems scary, right? Maybe it triggers a reaction of panic or fear or shame or control. And that's fine, you're human. But it's important to note that your reply at this moment is essential. Because if you're open to giving them a safe space to have these conversations without you trying to control them, you have a great shot at helping them work through some of these things. And it's not easy to sit and listen to your teenager process and philosophize what they believe about God. It's not easy at all. But remind yourself, the goal is a relationship, which means they choose to offer a conversation on their accord. So hold space for their thoughts and feelings without control or interruption or manipulation. You see, foundational struggles in a teen's relationship with God can have purpose because once they work through them, the relationship with God is deeper. They look at the faith you passed down and they made it their own, right? It's kind of like these spiritual growing pains. So don't run away, be scared, or try and avoid these conversations. Engage them. And if you are scared or don't feel like you're qualified, then invite other people you trust to help in this process. Finally, the third way to help a teenager own their faith is to help them find a place to serve. Whether that's here at Discovery, through a mission organization, anything else, right? Like cast a vision that extracurricular activities have a much bigger purpose than simply a college resume. And it's developmentally appropriate if your teenager thinks everything's about them, right? From meal times to friendships. And so one way to balance this season is joining in a mission bigger than themselves. Provide opportunities to join a project or activities where they don't get anything in return, right? Find a place where they can get outside of themselves, take what they learn and practice it on their own. At DSM, we're trying to provide at least one service opportunity a month to help this process. And so maybe you encourage your student to be a part of those. For a child to become an adult, they must pass through those hallowed hallways of adolescence. And it's not easy as they transform from child to adult. There's physical, emotional changes, but also spiritual. So grant yourself some grace and your teenager too during this transition. So remember, invite a safe, older, trusted spiritual mentor in their lives, hold space for their questions, and help them to see outside of themselves.